Well, I have my mind on this video idea for a long time now of building a Capcom versus Capcom roster. Now, we are all still reeling in from the Marvel vs. Capcom collection being announced and coming out later this year. The hype and excitement is at an all-time high. And I want to give a shout out to all of those new subscribers and folks checking out my videos, man, and giving your boy a chance. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. It really means a ton to me, and you guys are in one of the best places ever when it comes to this fighting game and Capcom content, because that's what I do. But speaking of what we're going to do today, let's have fun. Let's detox. Let's have a little bit of fun. I'm going to build a Capcom versus Capcom roster based off of the Capcom survey results that just came out a couple weeks ago. Now, the fun part about this video is I want you guys to select 16 to 20 Capcom characters that you would put in the Capcom versus Capcom roster. I'm going to do as many as I can do. I'm going to do it based off of some of the most popular votes and based off of some obscure votes that I've seen as well. So let's go ahead and try to build this Capcom versus Capcom roster if this were to ever happen. Now, one last little disclaimer is the reason I'm going Capcom versus Capcom is because it doesn't involve another company. Capcom themselves can do an in-house fighting game, sort of similar to, what was that called, Capcom Fighting Gym or something like that, but that really wasn't that good. They didn't really put a lot of effort into that. If Capcom were to do a Capcom versus Capcom right now, or Capcom All-Stars, let's just call it that, then you know what? I think there would be some really interesting character choices considering how Capcom has developed over the years. So let's go ahead and take a look at the survey results and let's start picking some characters. So let's go ahead and get our notepad up. We got Capcom versus Capcom, or we can just call it Capcom All Stars 2024. As you guys can see on the survey here, Dante was clearly the most popular character as voted in Japan and the world. So we got to go ahead and put Dante on the roster no matter what, no matter if he's broken or not, because apparently people really love them some Dante. Now, another character who I think is crazy that's never been in a versus game is Leon. Leon's popularity right now is supremely high. I can't believe he's never been in any sort of versus title ever, and that's crazy considering how popular this guy actually is. And then you got that Resident Evil 4 remake out there that just came out that's really blowing up everything. Next, you know we gotta have the OG. You cannot build a roster without having your boy Ryu. I should have made him first, but come on, you gotta have Ryu or you ain't squabbling with nobody. Capcom will fight against anybody, but the first person there every single time is that boy Ryu. Tatsunoko, Ryu. Tekken, Ryu. Marvel, Ryu. You gotta have my boy in there. I don't care how basic he is. Put SF6 version Ryu up in there and it spices things up a little bit. Speaking of SF6, this one y'all gonna get mad at me for, but I gotta do it. I think you gotta go Luke, man. I think they're absolutely gonna add Luke into the roster because Capcom has been trying to push this character a lot to be the Ryu replacement, which I disagree with, but yeah. So far we got Dante, Leon, Ryu, and Luke. Next, let's go ahead and add, according to the Japanese side of things, I'm super biased. I'm going to add Mega Man EXE. EXE just had that Legacy Collection come out and it sold like 1.5 million units or something like that. Man, listen, you got to have Mega Man EXE up in there because I think, first of all, Mega Man needs a representative, I'm sorry. And I think that EXE is long overdue to be in a versus game. We had Volnut and Tatsunoko, which I love Volnut, but you know, it's only fair. Now looking at the Japanese side of things one more time, we gotta go with my man Date. Not Dante, Date. Masamune Date from Sengoku Basara. It's high time that this character also has a chance in the versus game. He would have such a sick moveset considering he has like over 6 or 7 swords or something like that. And Sengoku Basara deserves some rep. It deserves to be in a versus game. So I like that Japanese people actually pointed out that Masamune Date should get in, that he's actually a popular character. Next, let's go over to the lady side of things. Clearly at number 1 for the world, we have Jill Valentine. So I think if there's a Capcom All-Stars, Jill Valentine I ain't even spell that right. Jill Valentine would definitely be in the roster. So that's 2 Resident Evil reps. That's fine by me. And then, yes, Street Fighter heads, y'all gonna get mad at me. We see our girl Chun-Li over here. Chun-Li is the 2D fighting mascot for ladies. So you gotta have Chun-Li in a potential Capcom versus Capcom. One that I think would be pretty interesting is if they added Regina. Based off of these poll results, a lot of folks like Regina. Now, I don't know where all y'all Dino Crisis fans, I don't know where all y'all have been, but let's go ahead and just put Regina on the list as well, because apparently it's a lot of Dino Crisis fans out here, but y'all just ain't been making that much noise. So looking at the rest of the list, I would put Sakura. Sakura is my girl. I would love to have Sakura in the verses, but I already have plenty of Street Fighter reps, and I don't know how many more reps Street Fighter would get without this list getting boring. Juri is also a nice list. Cammy, maybe you can switch Cammy, Juri, Chun-Li, Sakura out. Who knows? But this is the main one I wanted to go on. If you go to the check out other rankings, there's a plethora of other different rankings of different characters. So let's continue to build the roster using these characters. So now we need a couple villains, man. We can either go Akuma or Wesker. I'm gonna go Wesker. I think Wesker would be pretty dope again. He was only in MVC3, so I think giving Wesker another shot would be absolutely dope. Now going through the list once again, oh, we got Samanosuke from Onimusha. I'm definitely gonna go Onimusha rep. I don't even know how to spell my man's name. Let's just go Onimusha. All right, next at number 12, who do we got? Let's see who we got, guys. Ryu from Breath of Fire. Absolutely, I would want Ryu from Breath of Fire. Any Breath of Fire. Let's just do Ryu, any Breath of Fire. Now, maybe it could be Ryu from Breath of Fire 4 or 3, but let's just go any Ryu, Breath of Fire. Breath of Fire absolutely needs a rep when it comes to these fighting games, man, especially because it's been getting mentioned so much. Next, let's go ahead and go with Tron Bonne. Now, I'm super biased. Tron Bonne usually has been in a lot of these versus titles. She was introduced in MVC2. She was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and Tron Bonne is my girl. She's one of my mains. She's also from Mega Man Legends, so that makes me automatically biased. Next, let's go ahead and continue to have a little bit more fun. I want to pick somebody like really off the wall here, man. Some of these characters I actually don't even know, I haven't even heard of. Going down from 51st to 100, you got Roll Casket, Lilith, Rebecca, Nina from Breath of Fire 2, Herlock Sholmes. Who is that? You got a couple more Ryus in here. Fo Lu from Breath of Fire would be dope. He's one of the antagonists for Breath of Fire. That would actually be a nice change of pace to have a couple Breath of Fire reps in the game. That would actually be pretty cool. I got a couple Breath of Fire guys in here now, don't I? Speaking of the ladies from Breath of Fire, I remember seeing Nina. Yeah, Nina from Breath of Fire 2 is actually on the top 10 when it comes to the Japanese ladies. So I'm giving Breath of Fire a lot of love right now, but let's go with Nina from Breath of Fire 2. That probably would never happen, that Breath of Fire would get 3 reps, but I'm going to do it anyway. Next, let's continue on. Who else do we got? We got Yukimura Sanada. Ooh, Dudley. Oh, no more Street Fighters. Let's try not to do any more Street Fighters, guys. Let's try to just go down the list and find some unique characters. Captain Commando. Now, I gotta go Captain Commando. I feel like those OG Capcom people, this game, if it were to ever happen, it should be a celebration of Capcom. Oh, you gotta go Monster Hunter, of course. After Monster Hunter, who else do we have to go? We got Resident Evil. We got, oh, you got to go Dead Rising, man. Chuck Green, man. You got to get Chuck Green in here. Let me make sure I got enough ladies on the roster, though. So far, we have Jill, Chun-Li, Regina, Tron Bonne, Nina. Monster Hunter could be a lady as well. So, okay, guys, we're at 18 characters. Let's get some rival school Batsu on the roster as well. If we're going to be going down this rabbit hole, give me a Power Stone rep all day. I feel like Power Stone would be one of the dopest. Oh, if Power Stone were to happen in today's age, guys, I'm telling you guys, it would be an absolute hit in my opinion. You make it a 4-player party fighter, add some online play, throw cameos in there from other Capcom titles like Ryu, Dante. Man, you could do anything. Capcom could have their own version of Smash Brothers in a way. Capcom Smash all day. But I'm gonna go ahead and go with my boy Falcon from Power Stone. I gotta go Falcon from Power Stone, man. Right now, I'm trying to make my list a nice mixture of some classics from my childhood and the obvious choices. Now, another character I think deserves to get another shot at being a villain is either my man Jada, or we can do Dimitri from Darkstalkers. I like Jada or Dimitri from Darkstalkers, okay? I'm trying to beef the villain side up. So far, if we had to go villains, we got Wesker, Folu, and Jada. There needs to be a big baddie on the Capcom side that I really need to like. I found him. Zombie from Resident Evil series is the 150th favorite character from Capcom fans apparently. You know what? I got you. Zombie. Zombie from Resident Evil. There we go. Villains taken care of. But nah, all right, let's keep going. Mega Man Juno. Now, Mega Man Juno was actually the the main villain of the first Mega Man Legends. So that'd be pretty dope to see an evil Mega Man actually in the roster for a change. It's always either Zero or like Mega Man, but imagine if we had an evil Mega Man like Mega Man Juno. I'll probably put a picture of him up on the screen if you've never seen this character. He looked a little weird, but he was kind of crazy because he wanted to blow up the whole island because that was his like programming. So he would be a pretty dope and different villain to actually put into the game. Next, let's find one more like wild person who we could not even see. There's my boy DJ. Wow, some characters in here do not have a lot of votes at all. I feel like I'm missing a really unique character, guys. I feel like I'm missing someone really, really unique, and I'm not really thinking right now. I've covered the main series. I've covered Street Fighter. I've covered Mega Man. I've covered Onimusha. I mean, Amaterasu, maybe? Nah, you know what I say? Put my man Jin back in from Marvel vs. Capcom 1. That's the homie right there. So let's look at my Cali Q building a Capcom All-Stars roster. Y'all let me know and rate my roster, man. If this is, I'm gonna get my roster right now. Let me look at it. I have Dante, Leon, Ryu, Luke, Mega Man, EXE, Dante, Jill Valentine, Chun-Li, Regina, Wesker, Onimusha rep, any Onimusha rep, Ryu, any Ryu from Breath of Fire, Tron Braun, Folu, Nina, any Nina, Captain Commando, Monster Hunter, Chuck Green, Batu, Falcon, Jada, Zombie from Resident Evil, Mega Man Juno, and my boy Jin from Marvel vs. Capcom 1. So yeah, guys, that's the video, man. Y'all let me know if you guys like this sort of video. Tell me what your Capcom All-Star roster will be. I had a lot of fun making this, man. There are probably so many better rosters out there. I ended up with 24 characters on here. You guys, let me know, man. I want to hear y'all rosters. Build that roster of Capcom characters. Let's have some fun. This was just a fun video for y'all to support the channel. Thank you guys for checking out my channel, man. There's so much more to come. It's Marvel, baby. We are back. Versus season is upon us, and we are hyped out here. Share the channel, like the video. God bless y'all. Stay safe, and I'll see y'all on the Marvel streets real soon. Peace.